Alright, so if you missed out on my stream that I just ended, or the leaks yesterday, Margaret or Ludociel, it's I think they are calling it Ludociel, but is the new festival character, Holy War festival character coming tomorrow for GP in Korea. Is the global 1.5 anniversary, which is in Korean GP, so figures. But it's a new Holy War festival. And let's talk about it. I actually translated all of the skills and stuff using a translator app. So it's not the most accurate. I'm still gonna wait for people who actually speak the language to translate it, so it's better worded. But if you want just the raw sort of translations that I managed to get, I'm gonna give it. But yeah. Let's get into it. By the way, if you're not subbed yet, I'd appreciate. We're trying to get you 200k subs by the end of the year. So yeah. So this is my reaction here with chat to the new Goddess Margaret coming out, and they did a showcase of it, which was hilarious. We're gonna get you it. But first, we're gonna talk about what she does. Again, I translated it, and her passive is that whenever allies I actually have it over here. Every time an allied hero uses posture and buff skills, this would be like stance and buff skills. The basic stats of this is her name. It's just really bad translated because it's from the translator app. Her own basic stats are increased by each 5 times a year, 5 times a stack, and applies in combat. So it only works if she's in the field, of course. So 8% per time some ally uses a buff or a stance. That's what I get from it, a max of a 40%. But again, we're gonna wait for the real people who actually speak the Korean language or Japanese language to actually translate for us, which is better. But that's a raw understanding. The what's it called? The grace, however, so they changed the grace. So this is Ludociel. As you can see, it has Ludociel's picture, but it does not have Blue Ludociel's grace. This grace reads different. And again, this will be just okay translations from a translated app, but you get the gist of it. Every time an enemy uses a skill, you get 5% increase stats. Again, this could be very wrong, but this is what the translator app told me, so I'm regurgitating the info. But don't trust 100% on that. Wait for real translations. Now for the cards, so they had this thing here. The blue card for 2 turns increases damage of all allies dealt against type advantage, or what they have type advantage against, and reduces damage taken by type disadvantage by 30%. So that's an interesting skill. Now, of course, it upscales. Oh, I didn't actually translate this one. So this is this one also increases basic stats, right? It should, because it has the symbols right there. Yeah. So for 3 turns. For 3 turns, increases basic stats of all allies by 20%, increases damage dealt against type advantage by 50%, and reduces damage taken from type disadvantage by 40%. Or it could be the opposite. Again, real translations coming. Her attack card is the same one as Red Lost Vein. It's Ignore Defense AoE. Her ultimate, however, I couldn't get really a look at it before, so I'm doing it now, but I believe it's triple pierce. Yes, it's triple pierce. Triple pierce, 945%. Now let's get to the review. So they didn't really show the substats, at least not that I could see. If they did, I'm sorry, it's fine. But they did the PvP showcase, and this is the part that I want to say. So they came in and they wanted to show Margaret with a mono blue team against Ban, because Ban is the big boy team right now. Okay, let's show big girl Margaret, or man, if you want to call it Ludociel, big girl Margaret defeat big bad mini Ban, right? But that's not how it happened. So I'm gonna speed up real quick because I don't want this to take too long. I'm gonna go 2 times. So they play with the goddess team and Ban team right here. I don't know exactly who's playing which. At the corner here, you can see very small their image, which team they're playing. But so Ban makes sort of a good play, sort of not. He moved cards and got the ultimate. Ideally, you'd want to get the ultimate when Arthur has a stance, so they can't take it away. But it's fine. He goes ahead and stuns Ban, right? Which is fine. So Goddess Liz used it, and you can see Tarmiel uses stance, so now they got that extra damage against type advantage right there. Oh no, this is she used her own blue card. The stats increased, but she used her own blue card. She has the increased damage, or they have the increased damage. So he uses Ascanor. That Ascanor, by the way, sucks. This Ascanor right here sucks. I don't know what they had on him, if it was HP defense, but he was not doing damage the whole stream. So, this is Margaret's ultimate. 6-6. 6-6 ultimate. Right? Let's keep that in mind. 6-6 ultimate. And she ults Arthur. Arthur survives. Look at my face. Arthur survives. So Ban doesn't get his ult removed, and I want you to see the reaction from me and chat. So I'm gonna pause the music here. They're about to lose. They're about to lose. Ban puts the buff. Look at chat laughing. Even the Korean announcers are laughing. Look at chat just laughing. I was stunned. I couldn't believe that happened. They really did that. Way. There's no way. Why would they show this? She Look at her amazing damage right there, also happening with level 3. So, yeah. That was the first match against Ban. Margaret got squashed against Ban. And the announcers, until the second match, were like, ooh. Yikes. And they did a rematch. And chat was like, okay, I think they removed Ban's gear. So that Margaret can compete. I don't think they did that. But it would be fun if they did. But this is the second match. So they tried making a replay. They tried making oh my god. Sorry, they tried making like, oh, that was a fluke. Okay? This will show the real potential of Margaret. Let's see this again. I can't believe it. Chat was still going on. They stripped the Arthur equipment. They went. Yeah, and that was a level 1 Arthur stance as well. Let me mute the stream. That was...
Alright, boys, so a lot of people didn't want me to use Summer Merlin
I clicked the...
I guess they really see
clicked the next. What did you miss so far, Anthony? Thank you for about that. Hello, Morelli. I clicked the next by accident. Listen, the suggested page be like that. So yeah. Oh, did I skip? Or I think... Okay, so here's what happened, right? So they used the blue card, whatever. They're holding Tarmiel's take off ultimate gauge, which I wouldn't combine Tarmiel's ultimate gauge. I want to actually have that separate, but it's fine. And that's your ult rushing, I guess. So he got Margaret's ultimate, right? And this team right here was like, okay, let's give them a chance, right? We're not gonna put the Arthur stance. We're just gonna get Ban's ultimate, because that's, you know, somewhat the correct play. Okay. Attack with Ban, that's fine. And then they're like, okay, Margaret has an extra, look at my face. Margaret has an extra 20% damage against type advantage. Keep that in mind. And then she ults Arthur again. They select Ban, but Ban would not take nothing from that. They select Arthur again because that would take off somewhat of the HP and the extra damage, so it makes sense. But Arthur has no stance. Keep that in mind. Arthur has no damage reduction. And then take off Ban's ultimate. Arthur has no damage reduction. And he survives. No damage reduction. And he survives. Now, Margaret seemed like she had HP defense. So, with attacking the defense, she would have killed him. But, let's not forget, she has extra 20% damage against type advantage. Or type advantage. And she has type advantage against him as well, which is an extra 30%. And she's 6'6". Doesn't kill Arthur, takes off Ban's ultimate gauge. Now, what happens is, this team starts throwing. The Ban team started to hard throw. Not necessarily here. That attack was pretty stupid. But the Ban team starts to hard throw. So they remove Arthur's stance, the normal play, take off ultimate gauge from Ban again. But this is the worst performance live I've ever seen in my life. So, this is Askener, which sucks, by the way. I know he had damage reduction, but he should have killed Goddess Liz, even with like level 1 damage reduction that Tarbio had. And Askener with attack crit should have killed Goddess Liz. That's fine. That's fine. That's not even the worst part. This team puts on the Goddess Liz ultimate and a shield, so it's really protected, and uses Tarmiel's ultimate. Tarmiel's ultimate doesn't kill anyone, not even Arthur. But the Ban team, because they're trying to make Margaret look good, instead of waiting and doing the correct play, maybe pushing up the Ban's ultimate again to make them have a choice. I don't know what cards Ban had because it doesn't show, but maybe they could have. It decides to ult when there's a shield. And so Askener kills himself because of course he was going to kill himself. They had a shield. He couldn't crit. If he could crit, if there was no shield, okay, he could have crit Tarmiel, killed him, and then killed him again because there was still Goddess revive. But there was a shield, so there was no way in hell he could have killed with Askener. So that was throwing, right? He was throwing the match. But what happens is, even though they throw the match, this happens. So Twigo comes in, they have like infinite stuns, right? He goes for getting Ban's ultimate again, because that's somewhat the correct play. I mean, it is the correct play. There's no other thing you can do in that situation right here. And then he has a double stun, this team right here. So of course, Goddess Liz is doing all the work. Margaret has not done anything this whole match. Let me just keep that in mind. Let me just have you keep that in mind. Double stuns. That was a crack play. Yeah, I guess. So the Ban team just doesn't do anything for a whole turn because they can't. They're stunned. All their cards are, black there. Now they ulted Goddess Liz. Put up a shield. Now here's where they had two options. Either they put up the Margaret damage reduction of type disadvantage. So red type would do less damage against them anyways. Or they could have put Tarmiel's damage reduction. They went with Margaret. I don't know if that would have made that big of a difference if they put the Tarmiel one. But that's what they did. And Ban has his ultimate. Guess what happens? Can you guess what happens? Can you guess what happens? They throw again. They ulted with Arthur. So Arthur would die. They throw again. Thankfully, Arthur doesn't die because he didn't do enough damage to kill himself. And then Ban ults, and of course he kills. It's Ban. Margaret gets revived by Goddess Liz. But you see, they tried so hard to make Bond lose, and Bond still won. So yeah, the announcer. I think the announcers are going to get fired after this. So yeah, nothing else happens except like so. They're bringing back the comeback banner, which it's okay. I would much prefer the Fever came back, but I guess Fever is a festival thing, not a Holy War festival thing. So comeback banner is back. They're putting coin shop units in it, so you're gonna have free multis out of it. I was hoping they would also put the commandment coin shops, but what can you do? At the end, you can pick whatever coin shop you want. I have them all 6/6, but if you don't, that's a good pick. Maybe you don't have Red Girl for 6/6, that's really good. But here's the thing. Margaret's banner. There's no... Look at my reaction. There's no Cusack. The Cusack that was leaked is not a side unit for Margaret. I'm guessing he's gonna be a standalone unit in a different banner. Margaret is alone in this banner. Don't summon. For the love of God, don't summon. They had a terrible performance for her live. Maybe she's good. Other YouTubers are gonna try her out, see how good she is, but that was a terrible, terrible, terrible performance. This is the banner. He has Lost Vein, Zeldra sucks, and some other characters, you know, Chandler, sorry, should have been Cusack. Chandler, you know, some other characters in there. But again, no Cusack. So it's just Margaret. You're only summoning for Margaret. If you're summoning for the new character, it's only Margaret. So I do recommend skipping for now. If you play JP or Korea, whenever the banner, as soon as the banner comes out, do not summon. Don't summon. Wait for showcases. Wait for people to try her out a lot and be like, okay, this unit is broken, summon. If not, don't. Either save for the next fest, or if you're playing global, if you're saving your gems, not summoning for the Ragnarok banner because you want to see what the next festival is. Watch the showcases and stuff. See what people are thinking of it. See if she's good. If she's bad, as you know the showcase here showed, I would say maybe try to get a Sigurd copy. But in any case, what a shameful performance.